If you've seen this video before, no you haven't. It is a re-upload from my now defunct second channel. I hope you enjoy. Even so, thank you. And yeah, I'm here today to tell you what your Dragon Age romance says about you. And no, this cannot be changed. And yes, I am always right. Let's get right to it. Alistair, you own a dog who loves you so much it makes you cry whenever you come home from work. Imbos or the Chosen Ones are your favorite types of character, you drink way too much flavored coffee, and your favorite trope is a golden retriever person paired with a black cat person. Your hero of Ferelden is probably some scary mage who loves their big warden husband. You are me. Morrigan, you are a lesbian and are very confused why Morrigan likes men, or you are a queer man or an individual who loves a goth mom. If an intimidating alt woman were to walk up to you and ask you out, and the date just turned out to be some sort of esoteric ritual in which she was going to sacrifice you, you would probably still willingly do it. You would probably help her even. Whatever the Witch Hunt DLC is, you have not played it, and you don't know what it is. Your Warden and Morrigan are off raising Kieran and living their best life. What do you mean she's knee-deep in the well of sorrows and is now wearing her mother's crown? What the fuck? Zevran, what happened to you dealing with your problems in a healthy manner? Whenever you're in a tough situation, you start laughing uncontrollably, or get out of said situation by joking so much or being so sarcastic that everyone forgets why you were fighting. You also do this to avoid feeling your emotions. Stop that. In your better moments, you really like long, deep conversations about the universe and are an incredibly sentimental person. You also have a thing for traumatized men with deep voices. Liliana, you are a lesbian and try to romance Morrigan first and realized she was only romanceable by a male warden. Or you like tall redheads with nice accents. Both are valid. You also really like listening to Ethel Cain and definitely don't cry in the shower thinking about organized religion and when it's done to the world, but also you'd like to start going to church again just to feel something. Please seek therapy. Honestly, you just enjoy three-dimensional characters who are morally gray and are fun to talk about on the internet. You definitely don't have a thing for priests or nuns. And now Dragon Age 2. Starting with Anders. You are either the scariest person on the planet and I avoid you at all costs, or you are an unassuming person who likes walking tragedies and pain. So much pain. Either way, you're a cat person. You post character analysis essays on Tumblr, and you probably have a YouTube channel or want to start a YouTube channel. You're also neurodivergent and work in some sort of environment that grates on your nerves constantly. You too share Anders' feeling of frustration and anxiety about the establishment. I have a feeling your Inquisition romance is also soulless. Fenris, you love traumatized men with deep voices. Is there an echo in here? Look, I'm reading myself when I talk about people who love Fenris. I have so much love for characters that can rip out people's still beating hearts through their rib cages. Wish I could do that to every rude customer I've ever encountered in a retail space. You're probably also diagnosed with PTSD and sob incoherently when Fenris leaves Hawk in their bed and doesn't speak to them for 3 years afterwards. You too want the ability to be your own person and are constantly wading through oceans of depression each morning you wake up. Oops. The whole reason you got into Dragon Age was because of the sheer amount of fan art for Fenris, or because someone hot was cosplaying him. You are also me. Meryl. You romanced Alistair in Origins and immediately saw Meryl and thought she would be the same puppy dog type of character. On a scale of 1 to 10, how shocked were you when she turned out to be a terrifying blood mage of incredible skill and talent? You love sunshine, lemonade, and get inky in the winter, so you own at least one heated blanket. Your favorite movies are slasher flicks, and you cheer for the killer. You probably also camp at generators and hooks in Dead by Daylight. But otherwise, you're a really nice person who can honestly do no wrong, and I hope you have a great day. Am I gonna get yelled at for saying you have a thing for priests again? This man has the most piercing blue eyes I have ever seen, and a lot of the fandom seems to think that is a pass to make him white. He is literally the least white person in all of Dragon Age 2, except for Isabella. Some of you, though, are really nice and actually respect his boundaries as someone bound by the cloth of the Chantry. Everyone I've come across that's romanced him is on the ace spectrum and really loves the pining and yearning going on there. You guys probably love coffee shop and college AUs, and you seem really chill. There's something lurking beneath the surface, though. You have a dark past or something. I can tell. Isabella, you like big boats, and you cannot lie. Sorry. If you had a wife or a partner, you would be carrying around their bags 24/7. Also, you desperately want to escape the boredom of everyday life and just go on vacation or live off the grid. At this point, you've even considered becoming an outlaw, just for fun, definitely for fun. But haven't we all under the unescapable weight of capitalism? You're probably also a punk or some sort of alternative person that really vouches for chaos in all its forms, and you eat organically, or you are a vegetarian or a vegan. And we have an honorable mention of Varric. You love a short king and have been pleading with BioWare since day one to give us a dwarf romance. We all love this unreliable narrator and his stupid chest hair. What more could we want? You probably spend hours on TikTok and CapCut making niche edits of Mr. Tethras to show everyone just what they're missing out on. Your library, virtual or physical, is full of spicy romance novels, and you have an obsession with detective movies, and you're probably into true crime. And now we're on to Dragon Age Inquisition. Iron Bull. So how is being a scythe queen? You are trans or some flavor of gay or both, and your inquisitor is either a Qunari or a dwarf. I will not elaborate on why, you know why. I don't want to know what your internet history looks like, but at the same time, I am incredibly intrigued. Once you really delve deep into the lore of the Qunari, or just Iron Bull yourself, you got really sad and realized how racist the portrayal of them are, or you're one of those weirdos that objectifies them. If you're the former, we can sit together at lunch and talk about our favorite big softie of Inquisition. Cullen. We all remember the Cullenite Twitch stream. If you're one of those fans, my channel is not a safe space for you. The fandom is divisive about our blonde friend, and not in a good way. You have very polarizing feelings about Cullen, but you think he can be redeemed. And you know what? I think so too. You really love dogs, or at least animals of some kind, and you're either a straight white girl or part of the rainbow and actually know how Cullen should be handled. Good luck with Veilguard. Hopefully your blower bow is living his best life. Sarah, you're either a sapphic woman or an incel. I once stood in line for a midnight release of Mass Effect Andromeda next to a Sarah stan, and probably tell which one I stood next to. Either way, you're chaos incarnate and get along really well with the Isabella stans, because you're both punk or alternative and are probably also a vegetarian. At one point, you also may have had a very intense animal rights phase, and you think Plaid Weave is actually really awesome, and you don't know why it gets a bad rap. Sandra, lesbian, or a sapphic person at the very least. You were very confused when it turned out Cassandra was a straight woman and wasn't bisexual or a lesbian. Me too. You play primarily on the PC because you need the mod to make her an option for all genders, or the experience of DAI just feels really off. You're also probably very femme-leaning, or really like to present partially femme, but you use all pronouns or use he, him somewhere, or have in the past. Josephine. Your favorite movies are romantic comedies that make you cry, and you love watching pet videos on TikTok. Probably the most normal of people in the whole fandom, if I'm really honest. I don't think I've seen one controversial take from someone who loves Josephine. You're also probably a fanfic writer and have hundreds of AO3 entries to your name. Also, you're somewhere on the femme spectrum, or you really love women, or both. Blackwall. Now we have a gay version of what do you mean they're not bisexual? This man is a bear, and we are confused every day that he was written to be straight. He's not only lying to us about who he is, but he is lying to himself. Anyway, you like big burly men who can cook and bake. You probably want a family or have lots of animals, probably dogs. You guys strike me as dog people. You romanced Blackwall with a Kadash, because everyone romanced Blackwall with a Kadash. You're also pretty normal, I think, but I have ran into some strange Blackwall stans. They freak me out a bit. You also probably had an ABO phase. Don't Google that if you don't know what it is. Solus. How are we feeling, Solavilla Nation? There are some really mean people out there on the internet at the moment, and I hope you're doing well. Contrary to popular belief, we are not all cishet tradwives. In fact, I know at least a handful of lesbians who are desperately in love with this egg. Again, why this man was race and gender locked is beyond me. Anyway, some of the stereotypes are unfortunately true. You are a Lavellan stan through and through. You have, or at least used to have, one Inquisitor with white hair, and the Mythal Valislane. Even I cannot escape the allegations. And you are either hardcore into his baldness, or you play on the PC so you can use the various concept art mods that are there for him. a reason. I am definitely the latter. We are also all utterly insane. The depression is real, and thinking about how sad Solus's storyline only makes it worse. Thinking about the very local minority of the solo villain fandom that are also weird also makes it worse. Every day we stray further from God. Please stop saying that he was right and isn't a villain. Thank you. Dorian, saved the best for last. I graduated from solo villain to pavillain, and you can too. You're either a straight or some flavor of gay girl, or you're a gay man, trans or otherwise. The former are weirdos who make Dorian out to be the gay best friend of their villain and make yaoi fics in their spare time. And the latter are constantly warring against the fandom for saying that Dorian would never be with a trans man. We take solace in the fact that a beautiful man with an amazing voice and a great storyline exists anytime we turn on the computer or our console. You tried to change me will always be our trigger line. Dorian Pavistans are depressed, full of yearning, and just want to be left alone so we can pet our cats and watch weird horror movies. Did I get it right? Let me know down in the comments. If you want me to make a part 2 about the characters people want to romance but can't, also let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out with the algorithm. You can find a link to my main channel in the description down below. Have a great rest of your day. If you want more of these silly antics, you can find all of the videos on my Patreon, and also, if you become a patron, you get a lot of cool art, and you also get access to the stream where all of you guys control how I play Baldur's Gate 3 and how I play this silly little bard.